Let me say a pleasant good morning to the NTA leader, Captain Gary Griffith. A pleasant good morning to you, my brother.
Hi, good morning, comrade, and good morning to all your many listeners.
Nice. Lennox Smith in studio here too, right? Listen, I call you based on yesterday's press conference by the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and I know you know how to dissect some of the things he said. So
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So you go ahead, my brother.
I think we can confirm now that it is either for the government to continue to make these decisions, it is either they are blatantly incompetent or there's a deliberate attempt to assist criminal elements in this country. And I'm being very bold about it this morning, and this is the country has to accept it. There's absolutely no way a government could be so incompetent to continue to make decisions like this that can affect the lives of citizens in this country unless you're just naturally stupid or there's a deliberate intention to assist criminal elements. There's a video that has been going around with Randy Burrows, where it has been shown that because of Randy Burrows deliberately targeted and going into criminal elements who have shirt and tie, white-collar crime, persons who are involved at a very high level, they had to take him down. This was no different with Gary Griffith, And eventually, as it goes along, you have to be very careful. As a commissioner, there will have been sensitive information brought to my attention that I should keep that degree of confidentiality. But eventually, the country would understand soon enough the reason why there was this dramatic turn of events for me to be removed from office is because very much that commissioner of police could very well have been doing the same thing that Burrows was doing. And then when it is that I started investigating and probably interfering with persons who may be closely aligned to the government, that is where it says they had to take me down. Because look at the decisions that have been made recently. One, as I said, you had an obsession of hatred and bitterness to remove a certain commissioner of police who was actually targeting criminal elements, pegging back criminal elements. 89% of the country were comfortable with it. The police were operating at maximum efficiency. It was the lowest number of violent crime in 17 years, but you had an obsession to have him removed. Two, you then have arranged for a president to appoint the most incompetent police service commission this country has ever seen. You hire someone who is a speaking consultant, another person who's an accountant, to decide who to appoint as a commissioner of police. So you appoint a pack of virtual quacks as the police service commission who will virtually then handpick who you may see as a police commissioner. Three, you then appoint two of seen as the worst police commissioners this country has ever seen in McDonald Jacob and Ella Christopher that have been instrumental in totally transforming the police service in a negative perspective, to have the police totally demoralized, lack motivation, public trust and confidence has now been removed, in total contrast to what was being seen just 2 years ago. So you're going out of your way to select persons to brutally destroy the effectiveness and the productivity of the police service. Four, you have done every single thing in your power to prevent law-abiding citizens from getting legal firearms and done nothing about criminal elements having illegal firearms. And then obviously your reluctance to want to even communicate with those individuals who have been instrumental and shown a track record of reducing crime. That being myself as Commissioner of Police and Kamala Prasad Bissessa when she was Prime Minister, and we had the highest reduction in violent crime in 30 years. So when you look at all of serious crime, So when you look at all of these factors, and then the final one, the tip of the iceberg, was based on what he spoke about yesterday, the most incompetent Minister of National Security in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, in fact, probably the most incompetent minister, full of arrogance, bitterness, division, hatred. You have stated, I want to keep him as the Minister of National Security. You either have to be the most stupid Prime Minister ever, or there's a deliberate attempt to do certain things to assist criminal elements in this country.
Wow. Lennox Smith? Wow. Have anything you would like to ask, sir? Captain Gary Griffith, NTA, political leader? Wow. Check your mic, Lennox Smith. I seen you there, but you ain't here. Well, anyhow, I also saw the Prime Minister yesterday. That is my last question to you. On the procurement, when it comes to the procurement, he's stating that the procurement is holding back, whether it be roads paving, whether it be anything the government had to do.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, we hear you now, Andy. Yeah, we hear you now. Go ahead,
yes.
Smith.
Well, I wanted to ask him that Dr. Rowley made the most queer, if not amazing, statement that is totally enigmatic as far as I'm concerned. Extremely puzzling. That one of the reasons why he wants to retain the Minister of National Security is for the purposes of stability. Can you rationalize that? Because I have been losing sleep over this rationality, and I can't come up with a reason why he would make such a statement. Could you,
well,
Mr. Griffith?
I think it's straightforward. I mean, I fully understand what the Prime Minister is stating, and it makes sense.
Right.
It makes sense to the point of exactly what I just said. The stability of confusion of people abusing the state, abusing state resources, whether it pertains to interception of phones, whether it pertains to using law enforcement officials to target political opponents. So he realized by continuing to keep an inefficient person in that position, the state will continue to abuse state resources to attack and target political opponents, which keeps the stability to what he spoke about, and the stability towards assisting criminal elements. As I said earlier, Lennox, it is impossible that any government could be that incompetent that you deliberately go out of your way to remove a certain commissioner of police who was doing what the country wanted. You deliberately go out of your way to select someone who placed 22nd or along that line for application of commissioner of police in 2018 by qualified people in KPMG and external forces who placed at 22nd, and then you handpick quacks in the Police Service Commission who have no knowledge in law enforcement, and they put her first. That you go out of your way now to put somebody in the hierarchy of the police service that has totally turned the police service upside down. It obviously is a degree of stability to make sure you continue to affect law-abiding citizens from getting firearms and not doing anything to get illegal firearms. So this is the degree of stability to assist criminal elements. This is the only thing I can see. And it goes further. This is the same person he wants to keep. Fitzgerald Hines made a statement 2 days ago or a day ago, stating that the legal firearms is a $4.5 billion criminal industry, or words to that effect. What Fitzgerald Hines has now admitted is that you have stated that I am the Minister of National Security for 2 years, and there's an industry that may be involved in criminal activity that is about 10% of our national budget. $4.5 billion. So in other words, when we speak about, we have a multi-million-dollar industry in cocaine. We usually arrest hundreds of people on an annual basis for illegal drugs. We usually arrest persons, hundreds of persons to be arrested for other criminal activities. So you are now stating that there's an activity involving criminal activity for $4.5 billion, which makes legal firearms the highest industry in criminal activity in the country. Yet for 2 years, as the Minister of National Security, not one police officer, not one firearm dealer, not one firearm holder, and not one senior police officer, has been arrested out of 1.4 million people. You have several thousand firearm holders, not one has been arrested for corruption or bribery or blackmail. You have hundreds of senior police officers, not one has been arrested. You have 55 firearm dealers, not one has been arrested. So you are stating that there's a $4.5 billion criminal industry for legal firearms, yet not one person has ever been arrested. That means that Fitzgerald Hines is either A, totally incompetent, B, he's a blatant liar, or C, a combination of both. Whichever it is, Keith Rowley has stated that this man is going to remain as the Minister of National Security to maintain stability. Anytime a leader says, I am not going to change my batting lineup to keep stability, it means that you could have a West Indies cricket team or a Soca Warriors team that would be failing miserably every single game, every single day, and you're saying, I don't care. Stability is the order of the day. It shows stupidity. It shows the man's lack of leadership and understanding the importance to measure performance, make people accountable, ensure proper leadership and good management. If you don't have systems to measure performance and make people accountable, you're basically saying, I do not care if you continue to fail every time you go to bat. You make a duck every single time. You score an own goal every single game. I am going to keep you there. But so what he has shown, Fitzgerald Hines is the Harry Maguire of politics in this country. The man has continued to fail miserably, and you continue to say, I don't care, I'm going to keep him right there. Keith Rowley has now shown he does not give a hoot about the law-abiding citizens in this country. And I again maintain the fact that the decisions made by the government over the last few months can be nothing other than not incompetence, but a deliberate attempt to assist the criminal elements in this country at the hands of law-abiding citizens.
Thank you so much, Gary Griffith.